Hi everyone, welcome to this week's trading podcast with Cam Buchanan from the International Day Trading Academy. And let's get into this week because we've got a lot to cover. So first of all, let's have a look at what's happening. We've got the election a week away and I want to show you the current polls. All right, so let's look at the current polls that we're experiencing right now. So today we've got Donald Trump still in the lead at 59 cents. We've got Kamala Harris coming back up to 45. She did get down to as low as 42. She's back up to 45. So yeah, we're at a very tight battle still. It's very tense. Donald Trump is leading. I've noticed in some of the betting, I think you can get Donald Trump at $1.50. So he's pretty much the odds-on favorite. And Kamala's running at around about $2.45. So I think there's some good value in Kamala at the moment, based on history, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. If the stock markets are rallying into the election, it's a good sign that the incumbent party or president will win. If the stock market's going down into the election, then it looks like the opposition will win. So there's a little bit of misinformation, or not misinformation, but a little bit of statistics or historical statistics aren't sort of being reflected in the poll and in the polls at the moment, because obviously Kamala Harris is looking like, based on poll results, looks like she will be losing this election and Donald Trump will be taking over the presidency once again. So that's the update on the polls. Very tense in America at the moment, I believe. Speaking to a few American people I know, it's a very intense time. So news-wise this week, we've got lots going on in the news as well. So let's have a look. So today is Tuesday. We've got, let's go. I've gone over the runway here. Here we go. So we've got Tuesday night tonight. We've got CB consumer confidence in the US, and we've also got JOLTS job openings as well. Then we come into Wednesday. Wednesday, we have Australian CPI news, obviously a week before the interest rate announcement, which typically comes out on Melbourne Cup Day, first Tuesday of the month, which we've been hearing, if you've got mortgages or you've got loans, we are been hearing of a rate cuts next year, 3 to 4 rate cuts next year, but they're not prepared to cut the rates at the moment, apparently. But CPI will be a big indicator of that regarding the Australian Reserve Bank's direction on Tuesday. We've also got Wednesday night, we've got non-farm employment change. Then on Thursday, we've got a lot of news during the day. We've got Chinese manufacturing news. Then we've also got Bank of Japan talking about policy rate and monetary policy. And we've got Bank of Japan press conference as well. Then on Thursday night, we've got core PCE and we've got employment news as well. And then on Friday night, there's some more employment news. We've got non-farm employment change and unemployment rate news, and also average hourly earnings, and also PMI, manufacturing PMI news as well. Friday night. So lots of news this week leading into the election. Now, let's look at the charts. Now, we spoke last week about the charts that are showing most progress at the moment, and we spoke about gold and Bitcoin. Now, if we look at the daily chart, gold is really breaking out today. This was last week. What day was that? The 24th of October. We had this big outside day, and we're still trading within that trading range. But today we have very much broken out of this yesterday's high, and looks like we're trying to test the all-time high at 2772. Now, if we look at the 5-minute charts, we have some beautiful trend trades on the 5-minute charts. I got a nice long through here this morning, which was for around about 40 odd ticks. So I was really happy with that market. Gold is being very bullish at the moment because of uncertainty, obviously with the election, but also there's a lot of talk last week. Obviously we had the BRICS summit, a lot of talk about those BRICS countries developing currencies backed by gold. So a trade currency for those countries to to work together with. So a lot of people investing in gold. Gold's probably been the most outperforming commodity in this cycle at the moment, or this year. Another commodity, Bitcoin, which we've spoken about in length, is looking very, very strong. Yesterday and today, we're swinging back up beautifully on this chart. You can see on the weekly chart, you can see we're testing that prior high up around 72,000. We tested that today. If we can break out of there, I think we're going to go up pretty quickly up to around 78,000. Looks to be the number. Because we've had such a big retracement grinding period here, I don't know whether it's ready to break out now. It's got all the signs because it's basically got over these trend lines. It's swinging up. From a swing perspective, we're making higher highs, higher lows, which is a very positive sign. And we are holding above these bull trend lines, these trend lines here. That was the key level we were looking to break out of. We're breaking out of these major trend lines that you can see here as well. So it's, all of this is looking very bullish for Bitcoin. Once again, very tradable on the futures exchange. If you want, trading the micro Bitcoin contract is 50 cents a tick, and a tick is worth $5. So it's a very good market to trade. Let's finally look at the indexes. So we'll look at the the NASDAQ first. NASDAQ is now this is our daily chart. So if you look at this big box here, I've got here, this is our balanced range that we've been working with. You can see last week we finally filled that imbalance zone here. That was on Friday. Now on Monday, we had an inside day and we've tested the low here, but we're still trading within the balance at the moment. And we are starting to swing back up. You can see on this daily time frame, we are starting to swing back up. However, we do have that election coming next week, which will be Tuesday in America. The market movement will very much happen on Wednesday, the 6th. So the Asian Open on the 6th. If you want to trade that day, that would be a very interesting day for trading. If you've never traded an election before, it's very volatile trading. So you do have to be very, very careful. But if you're experienced and it's not your first rodeo, then good luck. Go very, very well. We get some very good trading results from that trading day just because of the sheer volatility. You still have to be risk averse. You still have to be very careful about your risk. But the great thing is we've got the micro contracts to trade with now. Whereas the last elections that I've been trading, we never had micro contracts. You had to trade the full contract. So this is going to be great for anyone trading this market. If you've got that experience, remember the volatility is going to pick up massively. So you do have to be very, very careful. Let's look at the S&P 500. One thing I will note with the NASDAQ, though, you can see the NASDAQ is still, before I go to the S&P, NASDAQ is still a little bit away from its all-time highs. All right, so we are in the higher end of this balance. Once we get through these liquidity zones above 20,700, I think we'll go to 21,000 very easily. We probably might not go through there this week, but I'd say after the election, I think we're going to see this rally continue on the US indexes. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. So this is the daily chart. So you can see on the daily chart, we are at all-time highs. You can see the all-time highs here. We've got this balanced range bar that we're still using as our reference point. You can see we've struggled to break above that high at around 59.20. Now, last week we broke out of the balance bar range, but we struggled to stay under it. So we never got continuation under that level, which was down at 5,850. I was trading on Wednesday and Friday night in the live trading rooms, and I did make mention of a very nice trade potential. If the market was going to go short, we break out of balance, we had a very high probability of going down to 5,800, and it did. I actually said 5,805 because I thought these little imbalance zones could get filled But it did do that. It went down beyond 5,000 or down to 5,800 or just before 5,800, which is just right there. And then the market reversed last week. And then that was Friday's trading. So Friday closed outside of the balance range, but Monday we've traded back up through it. And now we had an inside day. So I would be watching the Monday. If you're trading Tuesday, watch for support above Monday's low, all right, which is about 5856. This would be a good area for a potential long if the market can find some support above that level. Look for a long, potentially back up to that high there, Monday's high, which is 5884. Now, if we see a break above 5884 to the high side, look for continuation higher back up to the test of balance. If the low on Monday gets tested and gets broken, look for continuation of that direction down, which would be a reversal trade, and look for a reversal back down through. Where are we going to go to? Well, in terms of Fibonacci levels, it'd be, well, let's have a look. If we look at the larger time frames, because we're still trading within this time frame here. So if the market wants to go down, we haven't swung down for so long. That's how strong the rally's been. So potentially back down to 5,700, we could go down here, which is about the 50% range if we do get under here. But I don't know whether we will get down there. I think this market is still very bullish, and I think we're just in a holding pattern until the election comes out. But volatility is good. It's good for trading right now because it's trading within a clearly defined range, which I like trading. If the market's in a range, you like it to be clearly defined, so you know where the bottom is, you know where the top is. Makes it a lot easier to work out your support and resistance areas. But the market's giving us some real clear areas, and that's the most important thing when you're trading. You want to have a really nice clear support and clear resistance. So right now, for me, I'm just working with this right now. I'll be working with this daily bar on Monday, and also the balance range as well. So the balance range low, the balance range high, they seem to be really powerful levels in the market. All of the imbalance zones, there's no imbalance zones to the upside on this chart. You might find some imbalance zones on the smaller time frames. They're probably the levels you want to look at. We'll see if there's anything in terms of imbalance that we need to look at. You can see pretty much all the imbalance has been filled on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, there's really nothing. The market's very balanced, and we're just seeing this two-sided trading, very short-term trading. And also, too, another thing is the volume's not great. The volume's relatively low. I think we'll really start to see the volume coming into the markets after the election, because that's when I think traders will feel more confident about, well, not traders, more investors coming in and holding longer term positions in the futures markets. But at the moment, it's very much open to short term in and out type trading. So guys, they're probably the main markets I want to look at the moment. There's not really too much to report on oil. Oil started to look very positive early last week around the BRICS summit, and then we just sold off on Friday and Monday. So it's just still sort of hanging down at support level, but it's looking pretty weak as well. So oil's obviously, there's not a lot of money being traded in oil at the moment, because I think a lot of money is trading in the Bitcoin and the gold market at the moment. I think it's where a lot of money is going into those markets. And hopefully the money's going to start pouring back into the stock markets and the indexes after the election. Well, thanks guys for joining. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. Also, I do have to let you know, we've got 1 week out or a week and a half out until our annual conference on the Gold Coast. It will be live streamed, but I've put the link in the description as well for if you want to attend live, or if you want to watch it live stream, you can. There's those two options. But if you click on that link, if you want to register, it's very inexpensive. It's costing about 100. I think it's the early bird price is over now. It's $229 for a live ticket, in-person ticket, I should say, at the hotel. Includes all your lunch. And then on the live stream is worth $49. So it's one of the only futures trading conferences I know in Australia, and it's going to be jam-packed with loads of education and some great material. So if you're interested in trading futures, you want to take advantage of these markets and be a professional day trader, come to the conference. You'll meet a lot of our traders. You'll see a lot of people that are doing very, very well, and you'll learn lots in that program. So make sure you can make that. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you like it, add any comments as well, and also make sure you click for notifications as well for future podcasts. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.